Okay guys, welcome. So again, this is another test prep. A lot of these things that you guys are going to see is similar to what we already did, right? Esta es la preparación para el examen y recuerden, eso ya hemos repasado varias de estas cosas. Pues nada más sigan en lo que estamos haciendo, ¿ok? So, label the following. Clasifica lo siguiente. Y equals mx plus b. Remember, we have two things that we're trying to label. The y-intercept and the slope, right? So the y-intercept is the number that's alone. In this case, the letter that's alone would be b. So that's my y-intercept. The one that's stuck to the x, el que está junto a la x, sería our slope. Okay. The next one, it says label the following graph. Clasifica la gráfica siguiente. Where is the y-axis and where is the x-axis? ¿Dónde está el eje Y y dónde está el eje X? Okay, so remember, y like a yo-yo, it goes up, up and down and up. La Y como un yo-yo, sube y baja, sube y baja. The x is side to side. And that simple example that I gave you, when you see your x, you go sideways, your x friend, maybe, right? You don't want to go towards them. You want to avoid them. So you'll go side to side. You won't go up to them, right? And then this one, number 3, it says, are they a function? So first things first, remember, step 1 is circling your inputs and ignoring your outputs. El primer paso es ver la entrada y ignorar la salida. Okay? Our inputs, nuestras entradas, are going to tell us if it's a function or not. So if these numbers don't repeat at all, that means it's a function. Si esos números de las entradas no se repite, significa que son una función. Okay? So, eso sí sería una función. It would be a function. Pues como es una función, ahora vamos a hallar nuestra ecuación. Since it is a function, we are now going to look up our linear equation, So it's y equals mx plus b. Okay. Ahora vamos a encontrar la ecuación, ¿verdad? So we need our slope, because remember, m represents slope, and b represents our y-intercept. So if I were to do that, remember, m equals the rate of change of y over our rate of change of x. So our change in y, remember, our y values are always going to be on the on the right. So let's start by figuring that out. So from 10 to 7, did it increase or decrease? De 10 a 7, ¿se disminuyó o aumentó? It decreased. Se fue para abajo por 3. Okay? From 10 to 7, again, it went down 3. Otra vez bajó 3. From 4 to 1, it went down 3. And from 1 to -2, it went down 3. Okay, so my change each time was -3. Okay. For this one right here, from -3 to -2, it went up by 1. From -2 to -1, again, it went up 1. From -1 to 0, it went up 1. And from 0 to 1, it went up 1. So what is our change of x? 1. Okay. And remember, any number over 1 is just the top number. So if I were to say 100 over 1, 100. 200 over 1, 200. Negative a billion over 1, negative a billion. This one, -3 over 1, it would just give us -3. Okay. So that's my m, right? Ese es mi m, ¿verdad? Porque eso es lo que estamos resolviendo. Now for our b, remember, we had to look at our input. Tenemos que ver las entradas and see if there's a 0. Is there a 0? Yep, right here. Aquí está el 0. So what's across from it? 1. So that would be our B, our y-intercept. We have the M, or the slope, and we have the B, the y-intercept. So I'm just going to plug it in. Y equals -3. And what's next to the M? X. Our B was +1. So that would be my answer. Okay. For the following one, para la siguiente. Again, I'm going to first start off by looking at my inputs. Are they a function? Yeah. Why? Because none of these repeat. ¿Es una función? Sí. ¿Por qué? Porque ninguno de estos números se repite otra vez. So it would be yes. A function. Okay. Ahora, del 0, oh, perdón. We had to go y equals mx plus b. So remember, our slope is the rate of change. So change of y over our change of x. El cambio de los valores de y sobre el cambio de los valores de x. So our y values are on the right side or the left side? Look at the letters. On our right side, okay? So from here, we're going to see what the rate of change is for it. So from 0 to 100, de 0 a 100, it increased by 100. From 100 to 200, again, it increased by 100. From 200 to 250, it increased by 50. And from 250 to 350, it increased by 100. Okay. Pues en este estamos viendo cuánto cambió cada vez. And I'm going to choose the top one. Voy a escoger la de arriba. So I'm going to choose 100 for the first rate of change. And then for this one, 0 to 2, it increased by 2. From 2 to 4, it increased by 2. From 4 to 5, it increased by 1. And from 5 to 7, it increased by 2. So we did 100 for this one. So we had to look across from that one. So how much did it change for our x value? 2. And now we could do that. And I'm going to give you guys some calculators for certain problems that we're going to be doing. So 100 divided by 2 would just be 50. Okay, so that's our m. That's our slope. And remember, b, we had to see if it's 0 anywhere here. Do we have one that has 0 on it? Yes, we have that one right there. So it would be 0. Because our y value is 0. So if I were to plug it in, y equals 50x plus 0. You can write it like this, or since it's just 0, you don't really have to write it. Y equals 50x. So you could choose one or the other. Okay. Para este pueden escoger una de los dos. ¿Por qué? Porque nuestro cambio de rédito era 50, ¿verdad? Pero el B, el valor de B era 0, donde intercede en la Y. Pues el 0 técnicamente no lo tienen que poner, pero si gustan lo pueden poner. Pero yo acepto una de las dos opciones para el examen. Okay. Ahora, we are going to be looking at a graph. Ahora vamos a ver una gráfica, and we're going to use our same formula, y equals mx plus b. Okay. Vamos a usar esa misma fórmula. Okay. So our m is our rate of change, and our b is where it intersects the y. So remember, this is a y-axis. This is a y-axis. So where does it cross on the y-axis? Right here, 2. So I'm going to put 2 for our b. Our slope, remember, if it goes up to the right, it's a positive slope. If it goes down to the right, it's a negative slope. So this one's going down to the right, so it'd be negative, okay, for my slope. That way I don't have to freak out about it. And then I can form my triangles, okay? So it went down 1, 2, And how much times did it go over? 1, 2, 3. So remember, it's a change of y, so 2 over my change of x, which was 3. What's next to it? The x. So that equals y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 2. Y recuerden, tienen que ver, la B es donde intercede en la Y, que es esa línea. ¿Dónde toca ese punto? Sería en el 2, pues ese sería mi B. Y recuerden, cuando están viendo una gráfica, basado en la línea, van a ver si es positivo o negativo nuestro rédito de cambio. Esa baja hacia la derecha, pues sería negativo. Si subiera hacia la derecha, estuviera yendo para acá, pues ese sería positivo. Pero como está bajando hacia la derecha, sería negativo. ¿Cuánto bajó? Bajó 1, 2. ¿Y cuánto corrió? 1, 2, 3. Pues sería y es igual a negativo 2 sobre 3x más 2. ¿Okay? Ahora dice, solve the following in y equals mx plus b form en graph. Resuelve lo siguiente en y es igual a mx más b. Okay. So this one is very easy. Este ya está súper fácil. Why? Because it's already set up in y equals mx plus b form. Este ya está en esa forma de y es igual a mx más b. The number that's alone, remember, is my y-intercept. Okay, so that's my starting point. So again, I'm going to label my graph. Y like the yo-yo going up and down. X like when you see that person that you might not like. And you're just going to go sideways to sideways. So 3 on our y. So on this dark line, on the dark y line, I'm going to go to 3. 1, this is 0. 1, 2, 3. Okay, y en mi Y voy a ir y subir a 3. 1, 2, 3. Ese es mi punto inicial. Okay, this is my slope. My slope, how much I rise over how much I run. ¿Cuánto subo contra cuánto corro? Este dice que vas a subir 1 y vas a correr 3. 1, 2, 3. So this one tells us it's going to go up 1 and you're going to go over 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, you're going to go up 1 and go over 1, 2, 3. Okay, the opposite would be going down 1 and going 1, 2, 3 to the left. Okay, and then again going down 1, 1, 2, 3 to the left. Eso sería lo opuesto. Then you can grab your ruler and you guys are just going to simply draw your line. Okay. For this one right here, again, I want you to separate it like we did because it's not in y equals mx plus b form. This one was already in y equals mx plus b form, but this one we had to get y alone. So remember, separate it from the right side and the left side. This is the right, this is the left. On what side is the y? On our right side or left side? Left side, right? So I'm gonna block anything out that's on the other side. And again, this is the second thing. Pay attention to anything that is not attached to the y. The 4 is attached to the y, so I'm not going to work with that first. I'm going to try to move this to the other side first. Okay, so I do the opposite in order to move it to this side, which would be negative 16x. It can't be plus 16x because if we did 16x plus 16x, it would give us a big number, which would make this problem even harder. What you do to one side, you must also do to the other side. And again, remember, I don't want to put it underneath the 1. No quiero ponerlo debajo del 1 because I don't want to get confused. No me quiero confundir. 16x minus 16x would just cancel out. I'm left with 4y equals, and we have these two left. So I want you to find the one that has the x next to it and put that one first. So does this one have an x? No. Does this one have an x? Yes. So I want you to put that one first. Okay. And this number, is it a positive one or a negative one? A positive one. So I'm just going to put plus 1. Okay. Y ya desde ahorita voy a poner en la forma de y es igual a mx. Como es mx primero, quiero poner el número que tenga la x junto primero. Y luego el positivo 1, ¿por qué? Porque este no tiene negativa señal. Okay? Now, I want to get that y alone. So here they're multiplying. So the opposite would be dividing. Dividir. What are we left with? Y equals negative 16 divided by 4 is negative 4x. And 1 over 4 would just be 1/4. Actually, for this one, I'm going to change it to 4. This number is going to be 4 because we haven't really shown you guys how to graph that part. So change it into a 4. So 4 over 4 would just give me 1. Okay. And it'd be y equals negative 4x plus 1. And remember, there's no number underneath it, but I can draw a 1. Why? Because it's going to help me know how much I'm going to rise over how much I'm going to run. Y en este me equivoqué, puse el 1 en vez del 4, este tenía que ser 4. So lo cambié and I changed it so it would be 4 over 4 would just give me 1. This number alone, again, is my y-intercept. So I'm going to label x and y, right? The one that goes up and down is the y because it's like a yo-yo. So where is the 1? Here, 1. And my slope is saying that I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go over 1. Go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go over 1. The opposite would be going up 1, 2, 3, 4. And going 1 to the left. Okay. And then getting my ruler. And that way I can create my line. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Awesome. So that's that. Now we're going to do this one, okay? So it says, which function has the greater rate of change? Okay. So for this one, I just want you guys to find out what the slope is. The slope is. So for this one, I'm going to do the change of y over my change of x, right? And I'm going to do that. So my change of y, how much did it change from negative 6 to negative 3? It changed by 3. From negative 3 to 0, it went up 3. From 0 to 3, it went up 3. From 3 to 6, it went up 3. And from 6 to 9, it went up 3. Okay. The opposite on this side, well, that's my y, so I'm going to put 3 on here. And then from this side, it went up 1. It went up 1. From negative 1 to 0, 1. From 0 to 1, it went up 1. From 1 to 2, it went up 1. And from 2 to 3, it went up 1. So again, 3 over 1 is just 3. That's my slope, right? For this one, I have to create my triangles. Tengo que crear mis triángulos, and I'm going to see how much it went up. So my change in y, again, change of y over change of x, or rise over run, right? ¿Cuánto subió contra cuánto corrió? So if I started at this point, how much did it go up? 1, 2. It went up twice. And how much did it go over? 1, 2, 3. 3. So this one is 2 over 3. So without me even getting out my calculator or anything, remember, if this was cut into a pizza, right? A pizza that was cut into 3s. This is saying that 2 of them is what you ate, right? And this one right here is saying that you had 3 pizzas and you ate them whole. Se las que comieron enteras. So, which one has the greater rate of change? In this case, ¿cuál tiene más pizzas? ¿La que tiene 3 o la que se comió 2 partes de una pizza? This one right here, right? So I would just put it like that. So, ¿cuál tiene mejor? ¿Cuál tiene un rédito más grande? You would put function A. E.